Welcome, everyone. I'd like to welcome our 2025 Masters runner-up, Justin Rose, to the interview room. Oof. What an incredible week. Today, 10 birdies, 8 in the last 12 holes. So before we open to questions, any thoughts you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an unbelievable week from day one. Obviously, the golf course has been in gorgeous condition. The weather has been unbelievable. It's been the most enjoyable Masters from that point of view for quite some time. Just been as you would paint it up. You know, the week has been that way. And you know, some of the golf I've played this week has been probably the finest of my career, tee to green, and even on the greens at times. You know, so. The only thing I can point to was sort of back nine yesterday with a putter where I kind of let a few too many get away easily, and I felt like starting the day that was kind of possibly going to cost me in the sense that I felt a little bit too far back. I mean, 7 back starting the day, but I woke up this morning just really grateful to be Sunday at Augusta. It's a special day in the game of golf, no matter what, and really wanted to go and put a good account of myself, and felt like I got off to a strong start. And then something happened for sure around the middle of the round. I just kind of went into the place that you dream about going to. You know, I felt so good with my game, felt so good with my mind, and I began to sense that I was playing my way into the tournament. I was laser focused out there, and then you know, really didn't look at the leaderboard all day until the 18th green, and realized that putt. I could hear from the crowd on 17 that I was right in the mix. And then on 18, I figured Rory was behind me. There was, you know, I needed to make that putt to kind of give myself some hope. So it's the kind of putt you dream about as a kid, and to have it and hold it, it was a special feeling. And unfortunately, the playoff, they always end so quickly. You know, that's sudden death. You don't really get an opportunity if you're not the guy to hit the great shot or hold the great putt. You know, it's over. So I felt like that's the nature of sudden death, but not really anything I could have done more today.
So open up to a few questions.
On 18, you took a second to talk with Zach Johnson. He said that he wanted to give you a little bit more time, that he asked you for a little bit more time. How much did that help you kind of prepare for that moment?
Oh, yeah, you know, I think it wasn't the putt to win the tournament, but I think Zach could feel like if I made that putt, the patrons were going to be pretty excited about it. So, you know, as a player, you also want to not have to have that 2, 3, 4 feet with the crowd, you know, still hustling and bustling. So a lot of times it's mutual respect. You say, no, you know, you clean it up just because you know what might happen if the other player makes the putt. But, you know, I said to him, yeah, please go ahead. You know, I'd happily have another little look at it from behind the cup, you know, because that putt on 18, you know, I had it against Sergio, and I hit a great putt that day. It just, you know, went on the high right edge. It's the putt that you hit in practice all the time, but when you actually have it, you second guess yourself on exactly how much it's going to do. But Zach, it was a great day with Zach. I mean, he kind of tried to hang back and let me take the walk up 18, but I said, no, come on, you're a champ here. Let's go together. But you know, being paired with Zach today was a really good pairing. Although we got ourselves on the clock a couple times, that was, you know, that was tricky as well. But he's an awesome guy to play with, and we had a great day.
David?
Yeah, Justin, congratulations. Great playing today. Was this perhaps the greatest round you played in a major? I know you won a U.S. Open, but...
Yeah, nearly.
What would you put ahead of it then?
I mean, nearly. Yeah, it's a bogey away from being the greatest round I've ever played. I mean, it is a great round. I think if you look at the quality of golf, yeah, it possibly is. And also just being in the back nine on Sunday at the Masters, like to be able to play that way. But obviously there are the moments there that you look back on and you go, okay, made the wrong mistake there and the wrong mistake there at the wrong time. But tough to dwell on that because 10 birdies on this golf course today is, yeah, it was unbelievable golf.
John?
Justin, how do you divide your emotions at the moment between pride and disappointment?
Good question. Don't know. Definitely I'm proud of myself. I think, played great golf today. Came out. I think I flipped the switch from yesterday. Yesterday I was so angry coming off the golf course because I turned 69 into 75 yesterday, and I didn't let that momentum seep into today. And I think that was, from a professionalism point of view, very, very proud of that switch overnight and into this morning. And then, yeah, hitting the right shots at the right time. Today I hit a lot of quality shots under pressure, and I felt like I was getting stronger and stronger and stronger as the round was going on. I felt so good with my game, good with my emotions. I'm super proud of that, because you can't prepare for that. You can't practice for that. That is just, that's when you learn about yourself. And I'm still learning about myself. But at Royal Troon, and again here at the Masters, when it gets to the real business end, I feel like I'm really, really calm and ready for it, which is, again, proud of that. But disappointing. I think to lose in a playoff for the second time kind of punctuates both of them and makes you realize just how close you've been.
Dan?
Yeah, Justin, when did you learn about what happened to Rory on 13, and how did that affect the way you approach the next several holes?
I wasn't looking at leaderboards. The only way I sensed that I was getting into it was the crowd. I didn't, like I said, 18 was the first time I glanced at the board. I missed the putt at 17 for par, and I said to Fuchs, well, what's going on? He said, you're tied for the lead. I said, okay, let's birdie 18. Because obviously Rory was behind, and I figured 14 and 15 are good at birdie opportunities. I sensed I needed to go ahead and birdie 18. But then when I was on the 18th green, I heard a big roar. I felt like an eagle roar on 15. So I assumed I was 2 back potentially. But yeah, I was laser focused on my game today, and that's all I could do. Was my job. And yeah, here we are.
Klaus?
Yeah, you've spoke quite rightly about how proud you are of how focused you were, but how much does it hurt being so close and not getting it there?
Yeah, I mean, it hurts. I think what are you going to do about it, though? It's like I think I really kicked on in my career when I finished second to Sergio here. I think I then played some of the best golf of my career, got to world #1. It's what do you choose to dwell on? Like, do you know what I mean? There's no point being too despondent about it, because you got to look at all the good stuff that got me into this situation, and you can't skip through a career without a little bit of heartache. It's not going to happen. If you're willing to lift the big championships, if you're willing to, you got to put yourself on the line. You got to risk feeling this way to kind of get the reverse. So it nets out.
Ann?
What a great week, Justin. You're 44 years old. What are you doing to stay young and to compete with the young guns?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any easier for sure. And I think as you go through your career, you kind of think, oh, well, hopefully experience kicks in and certain things become easier. But no, I feel like I'm having to be more disciplined and make more sacrifices now than I ever have. So that, I would say, is what I'm trying to do. I'm willing to put in that work. And the reason I'm willing to put in that work is for these occasions, these moments. Standing ovation on 18 when I finished, I took a moment not knowing the result, but just soaking that in. That was obviously a nice moment, because it was still what might be, what could be, but you're still, you're living the dream. Like, one day I won't be competing this way at this tournament. So, for now, the hard work's totally worth it, and to get these little moments, they're very special.
Nick?
Justin, I consider you a student of the game, a fan of the game. Why do you think a Rory win like this has created such a fervor among his fans? Why was this created such a high among them?
Yeah, I mean, I was curious today how the day was going to be for Bryson and Rory, given the US Open, given the dynamics. Obviously, Bryson has a big following, I think even bigger now than it's ever been. So I obviously wasn't privy to that in the group, or I don't know how that played out today, but You know, there was a lot of support for me too out there. I think people, you know, we saw a part of history today. Someone won the career Grand Slam. I mean, it's a momentous day in the game of golf. So quite rightly, fans are going to be excited about that. Yeah, you know, he's captivating to watch. He's a great player. He plays with so much sort of style and charisma and flair, I suppose. And you never quite know as well because, you know, he's made a few mistakes under pressure. So people, you know, they want to kind of like keep watching, keep guessing. But today, again, I mean, he kind of gave me an opportunity on 18, I think from the fairway. So that was nice of him, but then again, kind of closed the door beautifully on 18. 2 great swings when it mattered most for him, and you know, I think that's what he's really learned to do this year is to play much more controlled golf, and obviously it's paying off for him. I mean, he's having an unbelievable season.
James?
Rory, what did you say to? Sorry, Rory, your name's Justin. What did you say to Rory at the end there? And what will, you know, obviously the Ryder Cup, this will be a massive, massive boost for you.
Yeah, I mean, Rory's a friend for sure. You know, walked on the tee, we just shake hands. That's the business end of things. But when it's all said and done, I mean, I just said to him, listen, I mean, glad I was here on this green to witness you win the career Grand Slam. Very, you know, that's such a cool, momentous moment in the game of golf. And yeah, that was it. I mean, he was obviously pretty overcome with emotion and probably not going to be able to take in much at the time. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a big day in golf.
We're going to take one more question. Luke?
Justin over here. All your peers describe you as professional, like a classic professional. How would you define what that means for the rest of us?
Hopefully good, because you want to, you know, if you're professional, so you want to be regarded as you know. I mean, it's a compliment. I feel like I go about things diligently, the right way, give it my best. Always try to put, yeah, I don't know what it means. I mean, it's tough to sit here and sort of talk about, you know, good attributes. But, you know, for me, it's just about fulfilling my childhood dreams, really, and giving everything I've got and no regrets. You know, I think that's what it's all about for me, is just giving, you know, trying to look under every stone, push myself as hard as I can to be the best I can be. And I think that's what being professional is.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Justin.
Thank you.